The DeSoto County School District holds an emergency safety meeting tomorrow morning as one of their schools has gotten 3 hoax calls this week. This morning, Arcadia police and DeSoto County sheriffs went to West Elementary again for a call of an active shooter on campus. Law enforcement quickly determined it unfounded and the school day resumed as normal. Wake News reporter Zoe Warner kicks off our Zoe, walk us through what the communication has been like between the district and parents this tumultuous week.
That's right, Lois. Well, we just received a statement from the DeSoto County School Superintendent, Dr. Bennett, just a few hours ago. And in summary, he said the #1 priority is safety. So that's making sure nothing interferes with law enforcement responding to campus as quickly as possible and making sure everything is safe for students and faculty. And so after they've done that, that's when they then communicate with parents. So that's texts, emails, calls, and most importantly, those push notifications they should be getting through the Parent Square app. So you should have that downloaded, parents and guardians, on your phone so you can get those updates in real time. But again, parents and students are still emotional and freaked out after the frequency of these hoax calls, and they hope that today is the final day it's happened.
Stop scaring our children, and you better hope the cops find you before Redneck in our town does.
Yep. And there's quite a few people who are ready to find him.
Yep.
3 hoax calls in the span of 4 days. That's what parents and students at West Elementary have been dealing with this week. Lindsay Hine told me after Monday's active shooter hoax call and Wednesday's bomb threat, she kept her son home, especially after hearing about Thursday morning's active shooter threat.
Wednesday when I got him, the first thing he said to me is, "Mom, it hurts right here and it's not like heartburn." I said, "Honey, that's anxiety." I said, "This is not something you should be going through. No child should go through this." And he did tell me, he says, today's was scarier because it's not something we always practice. And he's like, it did scare a lot of us today. And he said, it scared me.
Alyssa Laws, Hine's friend and another mom at a DeSoto County school, says she's nauseated at the thought of how often these calls are happening.
I have to take a visual picture of my daughter when I drop her off, so I know what she's wearing. And this past week, it really has my anxiety and a knot in my stomach, and I'm really debating if I should put her in homeschooling because the world we live in is scary.
Hine showed me the consistent push notifications she's gotten from the school through the Parent Square app. And although this week has taken an emotional toll on her and her son, she tells me she feels better knowing staff and law enforcement are working tirelessly to keep everyone safe.
And I know there's a lot of parents who are like, well, why don't we get a call right away? You get that call right away. What is your first instinct? Let me get to my baby, as every parent should be. But when you do that, you block the roads for our first responders that we want in those schools. We want there. You have to let them do their job. Let our school district do their job so that our babies can remain safe.
Again, that school emergency safety meeting is going to be held tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Parents and guardians, that meeting is meant for you. Live here in Arcadia, Zoe Warner, Wake News.
Zoe, thanks. You can really hear the frustration in the voices there. Meantime, we're joined now by Wink News security analyst and retired FBI agent Richard Kolko.
And Rich, swatting has been around for several years now. Would you say this is unusual?
It is a little bit unusual. Professionals call this serial swatting, and that is swatting the same location multiple days in a row. It's a form of persistent harassment designed to maximize psychological, financial, and physical harm. And it's easy to see the drain and strain on law enforcement without even beginning to think how difficult this is for the students and their families. Mary Ellen O'Toole is a retired FBI profiler, and she has a theory on the motivation of the type of person who would do this.
The motivation can be quite varied. So it could be revenge. It could be, I'm angry at you, school ABC, and I'm getting back at you. It could be a sense of excitement. It could be all of the above. So there's never any one motive for something like this. So it could be for multiple reasons, to include wanting to be disruptive, wanting to scare someone in the school, someone in particular, or some people just more in general at the school.
And the FBI says a swatter may have a personal vendetta, a desire for intense media attention, or see this as thrill-seeking.
How often does this happen, Rich?
The numbers are not documented specifically, as the actual crime can vary in different jurisdictions. But right now, the estimate is about 1,000 of these swatting calls per year. So you can see how 3 in one small rural school in 1 week is quite unusual. And swatting can be dangerous for law enforcement and for innocent people located at the site. Law enforcement is going to pull out all the stops to identify who's doing this.
All right, Rich, thanks. Hopefully they'll find him soon. Meantime, coming up.